split personality when he's evil and when he's just all nice. Kind of like John, who has a split personality. So he's gonna have the ability Aura, but he's not really gonna. He's gonna pretend he's a low tier, and happy low tier, where he uses tiny bits of his ability which don't even hurt at all. But then when someone really gets on his nerves, he goes sicko mode, going, I'm a bitch, I'm a ball, and then one-shots them with an Aura Sphere and beating them so much that they don't remember it. And that's his other personality. That's his other side. So he's walking around the school until it's lunchtime, and then he finally gets straight to the lunch cafeteria and grabs the final cake. Holding it, going, As Seraphina says, hey you, he turns around saying, oh, he says, oh, it's the ace, hello. He says, I want that cake, give it to me. He says, well, I'll give it to you when you have proper manners. As he walks away, she says, as she gives her a stupid look that she did to John, which kind of paralyzed him, as he freezes, looking at her going, he says, would you mind saying please? She says, you're going to give me that cake. He says, you can say please. All people are like, what is it you doing standing up to her? He says, just say please and I'll give it, God. She says, I don't need to. He says, gee, did your parents ever raise you good? God. I thought people with strong ability are supposed to be raised right. Damn, don't even have some decent manners. As he walks away saying, you're not getting this cake. He says, I'm going to give it to a nice person. As he walks by Remy saying, like Remy, here you go. He goes, okay, thank you. As he walks away saying, no problem. I give it to people who are actually nice. As he walks away, as Remy eats it out, and she goes, he's going to pay. He's really going to pay. He goes, we're posing. As he starts going, as he walks up and accidentally bumps into Eisen and Blake, he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. I was too focused. Eisen says, no, it's alright, as he pulls him up and he says, thank you. As he walks away, saying, I hate everything. As he just walks away, happily. Then, after a while, he sits on the roof for a while, and Arlo says, you can't be up here, you're not a high tier. He says, so what? Can I just stay here for a little bit until I finish my lunch? He says, you might want to go down there. When they're sitting there, Arlo's, like, bodyguard dude says, Arlo, there's a giant fight in the schoolyard. Like, 50 students have ganged up on Seraphina, trying to steal her title. Harrison says, this is going to be interesting, as he pulls out binoculars and watches the fight, saying, this should be pretty. As you see, she mercilessly destroys them. He goes, she should have a little mercy on them. Arlo says, he says, well, that's the ace for you. She doesn't have any sympathy for anyone. He says, I think I'm going to go down and help them. It's not really fair. As he jumps down, landing on his feet, saying, hiya, remember me? The person who didn't give you your cake? Yeah, would you stop beating up kids for no reason? It's not a good reputation for our school. He says, you're the one who didn't give me the cake. He says, you can beat the crap out of me, just leave them alone. You shouldn't really be, I'll take all your anger out. I don't care. Ash pumps him, saying, are you happy? As he pushes her off, walking away, as he just wipes his mouth, saying, I'm gonna go to Doc. He says, not even. As his wounds are instantly healed from his aura, he goes, stupid idiot, bro, like she's so dumb. As he just thinks to himself, saying, how boring is she? As this is before John entered, where Serafina was still cold. As he's just quiet, he doesn't really care. As Arlo says, he would make a pretty good king. Kind, nice, but you don't really know if he's strong. Arlo's bodyguard says he's supposed to be a low tier, in the same class as Serafina, Blake, and Eisen, and Remy, along with Elaine, Celia, whatever her name is, the girl that worked with John with the Joker incident. He's in that class. As he's just working, going, As one of the Serafina fans, Celia, whatever her name is, Cecile, says, that kid's got guts going up to Serafina. Maybe I could spread rumors around. I don't know. Make a lot of high tiers hate him. As she does, comic book saying, kid robs store. If you see him, you have the full right to attack him, no matter what. Blah, 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 spreading tons of rumors about him doing all this bad stuff. As he's confused, going, I haven't done any of that stuff. Whatever. As he walks by, as he thinks, as then he goes to his locker. He opens up his locker and it's a note from from Arlo. He tells him to come to the Middle East Fields today at right after school. As in it, there's also a train ticket for him to take there. As he thinks to himself, okay, I guess I'll go. I mean, it's probably not a gift, I can tell you that much with the rumors. As he takes a train there, riding there, going, as he makes it out of the fields. As Arlo says, you're here. As all the high tiers, aka Cecile, whatever her name is, Elaine, Remy, Blake, Eisen, Arlo, and Serafina. He goes, why was I let out here exactly? He goes, because we've been hearing some awfully bad rumors about you, and we've decided that we need to get rid of you. He goes, wow. So, that's your plan? He says, bye, as he just walks away. As Serafina is in front of him to punch him, he just swiftly spins away, going, I'll beat you guys with dancing. I don't even have to fight. As he just dodges out of the way, going, He says, don't waste my time. As he's trapped in a barrier, he just starts knocking on it, going, Kermit, Marty, as he just starts pounding on it, going, Marty, you in there? As he's just trying to make it fun. But he realizes this isn't really gonna work. So, if he decides to switch his personality instantly, he could get an easy sweep and become the king. And make the high tiers lose their status. He could do that if he wanted to. He doesn't know. He thinks to himself, then he just gives up, saying, I'm really bored. I don't really know what to do. As he starts picking his nose, going, As he sits down and says, you all are pretty stupid. You know that. Arlo says, what do you mean by that? He says, the fact that we're in sand. He goes, your point is? He says, my point is. As he just starts digging, going, Arlo tries to quickly close his barrier, but Christian's already under. And they don't know where he's going to come from. Christian says, these guys are really getting on my nerves. I think I'm Seraphina stops time and then looks for him under thing for her 30 seconds that she has to stop time. She can't find him at all. Then when it returns, it's him flying down in the sky. He says, "I was up here!" As he says, as he finally has changed. Now he's in his split personality and his anger and evil state. As he fully activates his power, going, "Horus Fear!" as he launches it, knocking the flip out of Blake and Eisen. He rushes Arlo, kicking him, breaking his barrier, then going, blasting with kicks and punches, going, crushing his barrier, without his fist even getting bloodied. He says, "Aura detect." He already reads Seraphina's next move, and jumps above her, going, as he spins around and punches her in the back, going, "Ah!" As then he spins around and kicks Blake in the face, because he knew that he was right there. Then he backflip, then he spin kicks Eisen, knocking him back, he says. As then he rushes at Elaine, going, "Ah!" Then he appears behind her, punching her twice in the back, then kicking her up in the air, then doing an axe handle strike, which knocks her straight down. Then he appears next to Remy, saying, "I thought we could be good friends," as he punches her, launching her away. Then he says, "Horus Fear!" as he obliterates them all. As he says, and the high tiers barely stood a chance. He puts his foot on the almost unconscious Arlo's head, saying, "You're going to tell everyone that you've been dethroned, or your face is going to get squashed." As he walks away, saying, "Pathetic," as he turns into his normal state, walking away. Until he gets back on the train and heads back to the thing. Without even a scratch on him. He smiles as he sits up, as he's on the top of the building, and he calls everyone out. In the name of Arlo, he tells everyone to come out to the schoolyard. Arlo is calling them off to the schoolyard, so they all come out, and they say, "Where's Arlo?" He goes, they all say, "Where's the king?" He goes, "Right, you're looking at him." They say, "You defeated Arlo?" He says, "Wrong. I defeated all the high tiers. I am now the king of this school. You all will do what I say. Got it? We're going to make this school good, without this stupid hierarchy system." He says, "Cripples and high tiers, cripples and mid tiers can live in peace. Low tiers and mid tiers can live in peace. We're all going to have a happy life, without having those high tiers. So, let's all get along. We could have a fun school year. I'll make things much better." As he walks away. As a couple of days later, Arlo, as he also tells them all that they don't have to bow down to Arlo, Remy, Blake, Eisen, and Seraphina anymore. Even if they beat him up, they'll have an entire gang, and he's training them all to teach them how to be better in case. So when they all come back, but a week before they came back from, their hospital, because they got bodied, a boy named John walks in, saying that this is my first day. Christian walks up and shakes his hand, saying, "Hello, John Doe. Wait a minute. You're the son of the famous William Doe. Nice to meet ya." He says, "Are there any high tiers here?" He says, "There was high tiers. I'm the only high tier now." He says, "Did everyone quit or something?" He goes, "No." As he turns to split side, saying, "You should watch out. If they ever come back, watch out for a blonde guy with blue eyes, a pink-haired girl, a girl with purple and yellow hair, a boy with red hair, a boy with yellow and black hair, and with orange and black hair, a girl with blue hair. Just watch out for all of them, in case they try and attack you." He says, "What ability do you have?" He goes, "I'm actually abilityless." He says, "Perfect, you'll fit in our spot." He says, "Really? You're not going to judge cripples?" He goes, as he takes one good look at John, saying, "You're not a cripple." He says, What do you mean?" He says, "By taking a look at your arm, you have one less joint in your arm. I can already tell with my aura. By your aura, you seem like you're lying. Just confess, do you have an ability?" He goes, "I do." He says, what's it called? He says, aura manipulation. I could basically mirror someone's ability in a certain category and make it better. He goes, that's pretty good, honestly. We have similar powers. I have aura. I can create these blue spheres that are pretty destructive, and they target. I can also sense people's emotions, see if they're lying. I can also create shockwaves. I can also do this. As he goes, as blue aura swirls around him in like a Super Saiyan blue aura, but his hair is not a different color. He says, this is aura burst. As he reverts back saying, he says, have fun. Would you like to be placed as a mid-tier or a high tier? He says, if you're a high tier, just don't abuse your power. Everyone here is nice. I've taught them all well. He says, okay, as he moves up straight to the 2 kings now. He welcomes all of Wellston to the second king, John. And he says, don't worry, he's not going to be like all those other ones. He is a very nice person. He says, just don't abuse your power, or I'll have to subdue you. He says, also, watch out for my split personality. I have one. He says, alright, goodbye. Have fun. As he walks inside, as he just sits down in class. As a week later, all the high tiers walk in, one by one. As they walk in, and Remy says, did we walk into Wellston? Guys, as she's talking to Blake and Eisen, and they say, I don't know, usually people are fighting when we first walk in, but I guess no one's really fighting. As John walks forward saying, welcome to Wellston High. As he looks at them saying, he takes one quick look at them saying, as he walks away, not even greeting them, he says, well, Remy says, well, that was rude. He didn't even bow to us. Well, aren't we? Eisen says, isn't Remy a queen and aren't you the Jack Blake? They say, yeah, we are. Oh yeah, Christian's rebuilding the hierarchy, making it much better, with ability levels pretty good. With like Zeke being a Jack, along with Zeke being a much better person in this timeline, since as he's pretty good. But they don't have a queen yet. As Christian's just waiting. And he also has a new messenger, which is no longer her. It's the Izuku girl. Christian walks up to them saying, you 3. He says, so, how did Saileen's lies come to you? He says, you do realize that there was no bank robberies in the last 24 months. There has been no bank robbery, so how was I supposed to do it? They apologize and he says, it's fine. You all don't get your positions back, you have to earn them. I'll give you a weekly doing of things, and if you get those all done, you'll be promoted back to your positions. We already do, as you saw, the boy with the black hair, I did tell him to watch out for anyone who had to watch out for you guys, cause I'm not fully trusting of you. Just get your stuff done by the end of the week, and then you'll be trusted. He says, also, as he reads their aura, seeing if they're lying, and he smiles saying, you're in. He said, as they walk in, they say, okay, we should get a new start to this. As a week later, they're finally already in. Arlo, Elaine, Celia, and Cecile actually return with Seraphine as well. And they walk in with a serious look. They say, Arlo's returned. He says, as a lot of people like John, they appreciate him as a king. As Bundy's walking around and they see, and John walks up saying, He yells, Kirsten, can you come down here? We have one of them. We have 3 of them. He goes, coming, as he appears in front saying, hiya. Then he goes, oh, you guys. So, what are you doing here? What do you want? Arlo says, you know we still go here, right? And I'd happily want to know what you did with Blake Eisen and Remy. He says, I haven't done anything. They've just come back to redeem themselves for believing Seal's fake news report. He says, so, Arlo, you're not getting your title back, just saying. Remy's already got her queen status back. Seraphina, I don't even know if I can have you as an ace. You weren't really a good one. You just beat down everyone in your way. As he walks away, saying, and he thinks to himself, saying, Then he uses his own communicator, saying, Blake and Remy, please come to the roof. Blake and Remy come in, he says, alright, and Blake says, yeah, what's up? Remy says, yeah, he says, we have turf wars. Also, Seraphina, Arlo, and Elaine are back. They're not participating. They've all lost their status. He says, I'm not giving them a redemption. As then they head straight to turf wars. As they're facing a school. They're facing the school that they did when Seraphina was replacing Remy. As the other school says, who can they discover? And then he says, Remy, you can go first. She goes, okay. They say, that's probably the queen of Wellston. Remy instantly starts shooting the lightning all around the arena when she's fighting her opponent, which is the super strength guy, and she actually defeats him going, Choom. Next is the other girl, the arachnid. She starts to fight her going, They start to have a fight, but the arachnid girl would eventually win. Christian says, I'll go in. As he goes in, looking at her, as he goes to his other personality, and instantly comes and rips off one of her arachnid things, going, as he breaks it in half, then kicks her. She goes, ah! As he kicks her way back and says, as he creates an orchard and launches it, knocking her the flip out. Remy and Blake are shocked at what the hell just happened. They asked John what the hell that was, and he says that was his split personality. He has a side where he's super nice, and he has a side when he's in battle when he's serious. And when he's serious, he's undefeatable. As he's gonna take on Thing. He soon wants to take on Ember. As then they head back.